All right. Guys, welcome to the 10th episode of the Czech FIREARMS podcast. My name is Lucas. Next to me is Karl from Check My Guns.
Heyo.
And we have a wonderful guest today who are the guys from the Polenar Tactical, Samo and Žiga right over there.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for saving your time for us.
Thank you for having us. We always come in. We try our best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. So let me jump right into the questions. We always start with the history.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, what's the origin of the name Polenar Tactical? Because I somehow wonder that it's inspired by the surname of Žiga, but it's Žiga Polenar, right? So how it come that it changed to Polenar?
Yeah, that's the proper guess. It actually comes from my surname, and it's kind of a longer story because the Polenar comes from a nickname that came from my surname, and essentially Polenar is just a surname, but Polena are like logs in Slovenian.
Same in Czech.
Is this the same?
Yeah, Polenar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's like people were making fun of me, and like that was kind of a nickname for me way back, and I used it as my first name for my first YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
This is actually our second YouTube channel. The first one I was just posting, like I was very early on YouTube. YouTube was one of the first websites on the internet where you could upload and host videos for free.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I loved it. And I posted stuff about airsoft and some other stuff in my life, and then later guns. And when we came together with Samo and another friend, we were thinking, how can we maybe sometime in the future make of this? And when we saw that maybe a YouTube channel could be a thing that we do, we decided to make a second channel. And for the name itself, we said like, okay, let's keep a part of it from the first channel just because, we had some previous subscribers, and to make it kind of similar and connect to
like
it.
a continuation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the second part should be something that, makes it similar to guns or to kind of to connect it to guns. So we got with Polenar Tactical. We never imagined it will be such a big thing, and it will actually have a company with the name, and
Fuck it, no.
Yeah, it's a brand.
That was what we were hoping for, right?
Yeah, but honestly, if we would know that it could become such a big thing, I think we would think about the name more. now it's natural for us. Like, this is our name, but
Yeah.
What? Polenar Solutions? Slow tactical guys. A name is a name,
I never really realized that it has a connection with the word poleno, but in Czech it has also meaning that if you say someone is poleno, that he's like unskilled, really not good at anything actually.
Like greenhorn or something.
Yeah.
This was my
So
part
very
of
funny.
the name. It has two meanings.
Yeah.
So you already had your first channel, and you already started with airsoft. That's what I got from that. If we go even further in the past, what was your very beginning with guns, or both of you starting with Žiga?
How did you get into guns?
I think he has them in his DNA, to be honest.
Yeah, I would say my first actual kind of connection with guns was when I was really, really young. My father is a veteran for the Independence War of Slovenia.
Okay.
And when he saw that I'm interested in all things technical, not just guns, but like trucks, tractors, automobiles, whatever, he saw that I'm also interested in guns and military. So, just from his stories and his explanation, what he did in the military and stuff, like I got a lot of interest for guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he saw that, he never like denied it. So whenever we had the chance, he introduced me to how guns work, what is a pistol, what is a rifle, gun safety, and so on. So even when at a very young age, I was able to shoot with my first gun, which was an AK, the Yugoslavian Zastava M70.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think from that point on, I just like I wanted to work with guns, shoot guns, disassemble guns, clean guns, design guns, whatever. So
Sweet. And Samo?
My story is not so, I would say emotional. I didn't shoot a gun before I met him.
Okay.
So, because even when we met up for the first time, because we wanted to create something together, right? But we didn't even know what. So it wasn't like, let's make a shooting channel. It was just, let's create something on YouTube and try to, to be honest, earn money there. And then Žiga said like, well, I have this channel already. Let's, make it bigger and better and more professional. So we started filming in 2011 when I was roughly 22 years old. And that was the first time I shot a gun. I think so, probably.
And you probably liked it.
Well, yes, because I started buying a lot of guns.
Yeah, what was your interest into guns before you met Žiga?
I think I had an interest as much as every, I think, normal male has an interest in guns. In a sense that, I loved cars, I loved action movies, I loved, I don't know, technical stuff.
So you've been positive about it?
Yeah, very positive about it. I always wanted to shoot a gun, but I didn't have the opportunity to do so. But, and then we started working together. And of course, the first time I think we went filming seriously together on a range was September 2011. I still remember it because he filmed an M76, I think like an disassembly of the gun. And a lot of people were around us and stuff, and a lot of gun owners were there, just because that was just a normal range day. And then multiple people gave me guns to shoot. So before I never shot. Then I was sniping away, shooting AKs, pistols, whatever. So that was a fun day, and I think that was, I wouldn't say love at first sight, but it was quite a big affection. Something like that.
There is one question that popped out in my mind, and that was that we are roughly the same age, right?
Yes, we're sadly older, yes.
So you mentioned the independence war of Slovenia, so that affected you. You lived through that as a young kid.
I can answer shortly. Maybe Žiga has a different answer. I was 2.5 years old. I have two memories from that time. I remember some sirens, and I remember going on a walk with my mom, and we saw some army people, and that said like, "What are you doing here? Go home." This is the only thing I remember. And I think that didn't affect us. But I kind of remember the positive thoughts of the 90s, because I think you guys are the same, right?
Yeah.
You don't know why, but you remember in a new country, everything is much more positive. You remember people being not cheerful, but definitely hopeful. So I remember more the aftermath of the independence war.
Yeah, different mentality. But just to answer your original question, I do not remember anything. I was so young that just no actual memory. But I do remember when we were kids, the war in Yugoslavia. So the independence war for Croatia, and then later the war with Serbia and so on. Yeah, what can I say? The thing is that even back then, let's say it like this. I was so young that we didn't really realize how bad that war was, and how close it was, and how much it affected the people that were there. For example, like we even had some kids that came from that area. We had them like as our schoolmates, and at that time I never really realized how serious that was. And it was just hundreds of kilometers away from us. It was an interesting time.
I would just like to add here that I remembered because you said so. I remember that being normal growing up. I remember until the basically early 2000s, it was normal that there is some conflict in the Balkan area.
Yeah. One of my schoolmates in like primary school, his father was a commander at the Kosovo Liberation Army, and I remember us watching him on TV, and he was like, "Oh, that's my dad." And I was like, "What?" That was kind of crazy now to think about it.
Yeah, especially because now with the war in Ukraine, the feeling is, oh, shit. War so close to our home. I think everybody feels the same, right? But we kind of forget that this was happening in our area, not so far along.
Not so long time ago.
Yeah.
That's why it was also crazy that European Union got the Nobel Prize for Peace, and they said that it's because there was no war in Europe since Second World War, and I was like, what?
Yes.
Do we forget what happened in Yugoslavia?
Well, technically, they called us Eastern Europe all the time.
Oh, so, yeah, they forget about us.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Eastern Bloc.
But the thing is that, in my perspective, as we are getting older, we are taking things more and more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't realize a lot of things as a kid.
Yeah. You don't get the wider aspect of war and how can it affect you.
Such a kind of realization in your head that there's something very serious happening around you. Yeah, and another additional question is basically killing the topic. But I was super excited about the laws in Slovenia because I believe that thanks to the laws in your country, you are able to do what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the laws in your country?
Žiga.
Samo, I think you should talk about the laws, and I will just take the part how in practice firearm ownership went from being just a couple of hunters to the next level.
I think I'll start and then say my story, and then Žiga will say that Samo is partly right, but I'm gonna correct him now. But
the problem is,
but here we go. So I think we have for Europe quite good laws. I think that they are similar to Czech laws, but more restricted. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, if let's say Lucas wants to be a shooter, first he needs to ask himself a question: what type of shooter he wants to be. So you have security, you have hunters, you have sport shooters. Let's say Lucas wants to be a sport shooter. He needs to go through the learning phase. That's like is it 1 or 2 day?
Like a course?
Course, yeah. And then
and that's obligatory.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for basically everybody.
Okay.
You have some exceptions, but I want to keep it simple, right? Mm-hmm. So you do the course, then you have the writing, verbal kind of exam, where they test you, and of course a practical exam where they test your knowledge, and Lucas passes, so he has officially a license, not a license, but something that says that you're okay. Then you need to do a medical check. You need to find yourself a sport shooting club.
Okay.
And then you go to local offices. It's different. You go to the police for guns. We go to the local offices for guns. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's not the government, but local government. I don't know the correct
municipality.
You see, this guy English very good, not me. So municipality, this thing. You go there. You say, hey, I have the medical exam. I have the successfully made course, and I have a club. I want to buy my first pistol. They take approximately 14 days to check your history on court with police, with everything, and if you're okay, if you
background,
a background check, basically, but everywhere, and if you're okay, and you're good to go, they send you like a firearm buying permit. Okay. You go to You go to your, local gun dealer. But not gun dealer, gun shop. And then
We have gun dealers.
gun dealers.
You have something good for me?
Yeah,
Same like last time?
but you need to say what. So when you want the firearm permit, you say I want to buy B4 9mm whatever.
Oh, okay.
You go there, you buy your piece, and then you have 7 days to come back. I think that's similar. You have 7 days to come back to the municipality. Yeah, with the firearm, and they give you basically a passport for your firearm.
Yeah.
And we can own legally everything up to 50 cal, including 50 cal. It needs to be semi-automatic to legally shoot it. Again, Žiga will tell this in practice that it's a bit different. We can own suppressors without even, they don't need to have serial numbers, nothing.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically
Suppressors from the last year, right?
So, yeah,
They were
yeah.
they were legalized, unregulated,
Yeah.
and anyone can buy them. Anyone can produce them.
Yeah,
And did they release guys who are in prison for possessing suppressors from the past?
I think we didn't have problems
Yeah.
with that, but probably they did. Basically, buying a suppressor right now is the same as buying magazines and bananas.
That's
Unbelievable.
great.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good part of it.
And for this,
So did you
I
bring
think-
us some?
No problem. You can order it from our store, and we ship worldwide. I'm not kidding. Like, it's your part and your job to make
Make it
sure that
legal.
it's legal.
Legal aspect.
I don't know if you want to register it, if you want a serial number on it, but for us, we don't care. We just ship it. And of course, as many of your viewers know, there are no customs for shipping around Europe.
So I think we are getting banned soon.
Yes, we will cut this part out.
No, it's okay. It's a good commercial for us.
I wanted to add something more, but it comes now. It's a little bit more complicated with 30-round magazines with semi-automatic rifles.
Okay.
You need to prove to the government you're actively shooting in sport competitions. But other than that, I think we are quite a free country when it comes to firearms. And also, the last thing I would like to add is that we can own unlimited number of firearms.
That's what I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, I wouldn't say an exception in Europe, but I think more countries have a restriction on the number of firearms you can own in Europe than the other way around.
But is there any kind of anything you need to fulfill? Like, sorry, my English is not so good.
It
man.
is quite
It's just
municipality,
blank.
very nice.
Yeah, municipality is the only thing I know.
Like
So you need to have a, for example, gun, like big gun safe or anything like that. Does a police check where you store your firearms? Because there's probably something to it. Like you can have unlimited when you fulfill some.
Unlimited.
No?
That's the
Really?
thing.
So you can just keep it under your bed.
No.
No,
You
no,
need
no.
to have a safe and everything, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
But this is now Žiga's turn.
Essentially,
Yeah.
these are the very specifics. Like in the law, it says that you have to have the guns secure and separate from the ammo. And now it depends on the inspector. But essentially, if you abide by the law by the letter, you can have just a normal wooden closet that locks up. And in one closet, you have guns. In the second closet, you have ammo locked up. Now, of course, I would not store guns like that because first, it's very irresponsible.
Yeah.
And second thing, like guns are worth some money. And if someone breaks into your house, that's not good.
Yep.
But essentially, it's not dependent on that. We had an actual, what is it, like a suggestion for a law?
Proposition, whatever.
Proposition for a law from one of the governments that was more left-leaning that would regulate this very strictly. But thank God it didn't went through because then they would require like proper safes with some ISO certificates and stuff. But right now, essentially, you just have to have the gun secure and separate from the ammo. But if you have a proper safe, you can have guns and ammo stored in the
Together.
same
Together.
in the same room.
So
Sorry, one last question from my side.
problem.
Of course.
So you mentioned an inspector or something. So there's
Yeah.
someone coming to your place to like see
Yeah.
if you have something.
Okay,
like that.
so one thing that Samo didn't mention or forgot to mention is that we also have a firearm permit for collectors, and collectors can actually own fully automatic guns.
Stop you here. I said this is where Žiga will add.
Yeah. So and they can own fully automatic guns, and since that's a category, they have special kind of they have special. What are the pogoi?
Not permissions, but pogoi. You understand?
Pogoi?
Pogoi.
Exception? Or?
Requirements.
Requirements.
Oh, shit.
Yes,
Saved
thank
by
you,
the
Jan.
cameraman.
That's what I was
Yeah.
looking for.
So they have to fulfill certain requirements for storing the guns. So they have to be stored in a proper safe or in a room that doesn't have any windows with special kind of door with a locking, and they have to have an alarm. And only for the collectors, there is kind of a mandated inspection once per year. It's not always done, but collectors are the only ones that are required by law that they, if the inspector or police wants to come there and check the guns, they have to oblige. But it's kind of like a thing where, I don't know, like police calls you or writes to you, we want to check the guns at this and this date. And the first date you can kind of refuse and say like, okay, let's do another date. But you have to then agree on the second date, and you have to let them in. As a sport shooter, police can still come to your home and check the guns, but you can say no. Or just like say, I'm not at home or I don't want to, because you're not required to show the guns. That's the thing.
Actually, very similar to Czech, with minor differences with the collectors and stuff. But yeah, well, it's always very similar, just different categories,
But
maybe.
generally, it sounds like another island of liberty.
Yeah. What I would maybe
considering the whole Europe, right?
But
So there are no gun zones.
well, at least in Europe, it's a big thing.
considering the
in
EU,
Europe.
EU directive and considering, you know, the implementation of that in, let's say, Germany and similar
Yeah.
places, yes,
Germany
it
is
is
fucked.
quite awesome. But what I found interesting is that our laws didn't change much in the last 20 years. They did, of course, with a couple of exceptions, but in general, they're the same. But what was interesting is when we started our channel, it was such a big taboo, you know, because I know all the shooters on the range were like, "Well, you guys are crazy, don't do this, this is, you know, not bad for us, but you're gonna get yourselves in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
You know, don't post your gun with serial numbers online, stuff like that." So I think that the biggest change was in the mentality of an average shooter in Slovenia.
Yeah, I always asked like, oh, is this illegal? Is it illegal for me to shoot targets like in a shape of a guy?
Yeah.
I said, no, but it's like, I don't care
Yeah.
then. It's not illegal. And then they go, oh yeah, but you should not film. Like, oh, show me the law where it says that I am not allowed to film.
Yeah, I believe
And
there's like a common
thoughts.
thing within the Slavs that we are all kind of conservative,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the shooters community.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what we are trying to fight against in Czech Republic as well. Like me and Carl somehow. So the guys are, and we have it as well. I feel that I have it in me, right? So I'm just doing it as well. But some kind of part of our personality is just conservative. So we don't want to share
Yeah.
the
And
info.
self-censoring.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think,
Yeah, that's true.
I think we're all like that, and I know that a lot of times I said to Žiga, we shouldn't do this. You have this in your mind, and like, don't do this. But on the other hand, it's like you have also that fuck you mentality, and because of it, I still think that we wouldn't be what we are today.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have that fuck you mentality. But we can say fuck on this show, right?
Of course.
Okay, so fuck.
Just
Thank
don't
God.
say it in Slovenian.
Okay. We have that mentality, and I really think that we at least a little bit help with, you know, this pushing this taboo a little bit away from the shooters.
Yeah, not to do too much self-praise, but I would agree. We definitely help with that. But we're not the first, and we were maybe not the most important part. Because before we were firearm owners, before I was a firearm owner, there's a guy in Slovenia that has a gun shop, Rebec. He's I think he's now reserve military, but that guy kind of changed the mentality, because also he's a hunter and he does some other stuff, but he was the first one that looked at the law and said like, oh, I can sell AKs, because you could always sell and buy AKs in Slovenia, just nobody did it because somehow it was like, oh yeah, that's forbidden, oh, that's automatic or whatever. And he just like, he imported some AKs and he was selling AKs, and he started to sell ARs, and he started to sell all kinds of different kind of guns, even like importing stuff from the States, very expensive stuff, but there was someone to buy it, you know, and he was pushing this kind of boundary. Because a lot of other, for example, like the first time I walked in a gun store with my father was kind of some kind of hunting store, and they had a couple of hunting rifles and a Beretta 92. That was it. And I wanted to see the Beretta, and the guy said like, oh, do you guys have firearm license? No, then I don't want to show it to you. That kind of mentality. And then I asked like, oh, why don't you have the AKs? And he was like, why would you need an AK? Like, because they want to own it, you know. Like, and so it was gradual, but he really pushed the envelope, and that's how we got the guns that we did. And then when I got my first, not just me, like before I even had the firearm permit, my father, when he bought his AK, I made a video with that AK, right? And then a lot of people watched it and it was like, oh, that's illegal. And then you write in the comments, no, it's not. It's a semi-automatic rifle, and it's just as any other. You just can accept, you know, the magazines, and it has a collapsible buttstock, whatever. But it's the same or even less dangerous than a hunting gun. Yeah, it's a bigger caliber, more powerful, you know. And then step by step, kind of we evolved to the shooting community that it is now. And for the second part, the great laws that we have right now, they kind of almost got to a bit better laws with the European directive. We have to kind of give praise to our previous right-leaning government. They saved our asses, like for all of the shooters in Slovenia, because before this right-leaning government, we had left-leaning government, which prepared more than 200 pages of text for a new firearm law. It will regulate all of the shooting ranges, all of the guns. It would complicate things. It like, when we read through this, the kind of what are the conditions to have an outside open range, it would be almost impossible. Most of the ranges would be shut down. Only the military could have the outside ranges, and as a civilians, we would not be allowed to use them. So that would essentially, maybe I would say it would kill 90% of all the shooting sports in Slovenia. For us, it would be a big problem if that would be passed. Like, some of my guns would not be legal anymore, or I would have to, I don't know, just use the small magazines, and our company would be heavily influenced. And then in a sudden change of I don't know what it was. I think the government stepped down or whatever, and the right-leaning government, and not that I agree with them a lot, but what they did, it was amazing. They just looked at that law, they threw it in the trash, and just did a couple of very good small changes to our law to update it and make it in sync with the European directive. It just amazing. And in the process, we got suppressors legalized, unregulated, and just like, it was mind blown. That helped us so much, because just look at Germany. It went from bad to worse now.
Actually, very similar thing happened in Czech. I don't really have a knowledge about what sort of government was there, but it actually it's not that important, because in Czech it's very like the common the opinion of people. Common opinion is very much like for guns and pro guns, which is amazing because even lefts and rights, basically all guys are like, yeah, responsible gun ownership is okay, and we don't want to regulate that. And every government that's coming is actually not really pushing a regulation on guns. So I'm really happy about that, and I can see the similarities with that. Also adjusting to the new European Union regulations, because you just need to figure out your way around that.
Yeah, but I think it's also fair to mention, I don't know statistically in Czech Republic, but in Slovenia nobody has really, you know, a counter constructive thing to say about bigger regulations, because in 30 years I think we didn't have any serious crime committed by illegal firearms. Yes, we had some suicides and stuff like that. But
yeah, I don't know why, but Slovenia ranks really high on the suicide count.
Really?
Not just with firearms, with everything. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It's like
it's our national sport, I guess.
Yeah, murder, suicide. So wife yourself. That's the way to go, apparently, in Slovenia. But yeah, some of those types happened with legal firearms, but I think other than that, no serious crime. So I think your guys are similar, because when you go through the process of owning guns legally, even if you didn't before, you start respecting what you have. Because before, I don't know if I said this to you guys, but before you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have my first pistol, like gangster, yeah. And then when you actually get everything, you're like, shit, okay, now I can't, you know, be drunk and drive my car with firearms. Now you start being very, very responsible because you respect the privilege you have. Because Žiga always says gun ownership in Europe is not a right, it's a privilege. And you start respecting that.
Yeah,
absolutely agree on that.
It's a shitload of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as we all know, what's the capabilities of the 9mm round, or you name it, basic cartridge, even the 22 long rifle, right? You start to respect it, and then you kind of play defense somehow. So if there's a forced situation, like a stress situation, something is going, like observing and like, yeah, I'm on my way. I don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Unless there is your family member involved.
What we need to add, something very interesting for you guys here, is if somebody would, you know, forcibly enter into my house in Slovenia without a gun, but just like being aggressive, I wouldn't shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't use self-defense with a pistol in this case, because laws are very different, I would say.
Oh, even if you take all of the guns away, just someone breaking into your home, by our law, how you can read it in however way you want. By our law, it's almost the same as you're meeting a guy on the street. It's not your private place, as seen by the law. So if someone breaks in, you can just call the police and say to him, like, go away. You're not allowed to confront him. Like, you can confront him, but just verbally. Anything you do, it's already an altercation or fight, and you are the same responsible as you would be on the street. So they don't take this into account, that someone broke into your home at 3 a.m. in the night. You just like, oh yeah, you fought with him. Like, he can sue you. He can, like, you hurt him, and you will be responsible for this in the court, and which is crazy. I know a guy that was kind of my old acquaintance. He was in Slovenian military, came at home, found the burglar. He didn't really beat him too much, but he punched him a couple of times, and he threw him in the garage and locked the garage and called the police. And he got a fine because he hit him a couple of times, and the police guy said, like, oh yeah, you could be lucky that he doesn't sue you, and you could also get a fine for locking him up, because that's illegal. You're not allowed to lock someone up. Doesn't matter if he robs you or whatever. So that's kind of, I would call bullshit for that. Like, I really don't like that. I get that we cannot have the same law as the US, just like, oh, this is the castle doctrine, this is my castle, like, you know, someone gets in, I shoot him immediately. But I think that you should have some kind of right to your personal belongings, to your home. Like, if someone breaks in 3 a.m., at least it should be like, I don't know, kind of they should take this into account in court. If I strike him, like, oh yeah, he broke into his home at 3 a.m., kind of it's logical that you try to defend yourself in your home. But nope.
It's actually, what you're describing is actually very similar to what happened a couple of years ago here in Czech. And I think now it's years ago, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I before I say that, I need to mention that we actually got a new thing in our constitution that you have a right to defend yourself with a weapon. That's in Czech constitution now. So
I heard about
big
it.
thing. And this guy, he lived in a remote house somewhere by the tracks of trains, and he was living there with his wife, I think. And the guy, 3 a.m., broke in with a hatchet or axe. So he got up, he was armed, the owner of the house, shot him multiple times. I don't know how many, but not like 8, 15. It was like 3 shots or something like that. The guy ran out and just fell on the ground and stuff. And yeah, he was defending his home. Of course, there was a court. Each time something like that happens, it needs to be the police really needs to take care that nothing else like happened that would be considered, for example, as a murder or something like that, of course. And here he's free, and everybody here, all the people are like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. He was actually a bit lucky because the guy who did that was a drug addict who was released from prison, and he was in prison for killing a similar way old guy.
Shit, okay.
Yeah. So
he definitely deserved it.
So that was like 100%.
But that's good, because in Slovenia that would not go that easily.
We don't know the outcome of it, but it wouldn't be so easy.
Definitely, because we have no law like that. But also to add to this, like, this is theory, this is law. Honestly, if someone breaks into my house and is wielding a hatchet, I would stab him or shoot him. I would not care about the law. That's a different reality. But at the end, you know, you are responsible for your actions, and the law in Slovenia about self-defense in general, is kind of bad.
Yeah,
it's similar to Germany, similar to a lot of this kind of European countries.
I got you, but let me just finalize what just Carl said. In my perspective, the rules for home defense are very strict. It's still very strict, so it doesn't mean that you are able to shoot the burglar or someone sneaking into your house just like that. It means it's called like act of the necessary defense. It needs to be fulfilled by the law. So first off, the person, it's supposed to be aggressive. It's supposed to be sneaking into your property.
It needs to be threat to you.
It needs to be a threat to you, and then you are basically allowed by the law to use a force against him, some force against him. And then if you fulfill that act of the necessary defense, you are supposed to be, you know, allowed to do so and be free. But during the consideration of your acts or the actions, your gun license will be taken away. And you know, it can take like years until they you know, find out what really happened and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you can get your license back, and you can be like allowed to, you know.
That's very good and very sensible. When he said home defense, I kind of imagined it's not just like you're defending your home, but for us also, it does not really matter that much if you're at home or whatever. But if this happens in your home, something like that, altercation, whatever, even if you don't kill someone, it's not considered as your home. It's not like a special circumstance. It's like it's the same in the eyes of law as it would happen in the street.
Yeah,
that's what sucks. But yeah, like if someone comes there with a hatchet for me is deadly force. Like if I feel threatened, I don't really care about the law. I will protect myself and my close ones, and then we can deal with other stuff later.
Yeah.
You know,
But I believe that every law or every perspective of the looking at the law, I mean, the gun laws has a pros and cons, right? So as you guys mentioned that you have like open suppressors, right? No limitations whatsoever. So you can just buy it as a magazine. That's awesome for us. So for us, for the Czech community, it's considered C category, which means it's same like a bolt action rifle. So you can just purchase free in the shop, and then you need to register within 10 days. But it needs to hold a serial number, and it can be inspected by the police or by some kind of inspection.
2 years
So-
ago, I would say awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you
That's what we
saying?
said
Is,
also.
what are you saying is that people can buy Nordic suppressors from our shop,
We just need to.
and you
make
just have to
serial-
register it if you want it.
No. We need to just make a request for serial numbers. I will engrave them personally. No, I will bring them to the shop personally.
Giga 1, Giga 2, Samo 1, Samo 2.
We
and
can
so-
do that. We can say Penis 001.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want Penis 007.
Yeah.
Ooh.
James Dong.
You need to pay, but they need to pay extra for it, right?
Yes. No. Just order full price, please. Yeah. Do we know the time?
Yes, sure we do. 41 minutes.
Great.
That was
19 more minutes before I go to pee-pee.
Yeah, but that was kind of complicated topic about
Yeah,
the laws.
exactly. We should go for something more fun. That's why people are here, right?
Yay,
Absolutely.
fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you are taking care about the entertainment of the gun community within the whole world, right? So I guess we discussed what's your biggest reach. So I believe that you are talking to the worldwide community, but there are like more preferred communities like the US, which is the biggest market on the world, no doubt. But basically the Europe. How do you consider yourself in comparison to the other influencers through the world, or what are your goals in comparison to the other influencers? Is it so complicated?
Not to
question?
be
I
called
didn't expect that
influencers.
question.
Someone hates it. Yeah.
No, it's
the
just a strange
influencer
word.
word.
We're so much more than influencers. I think my answer will be simple. I still view ourselves as a channel that does a little bit more of things. So we have the instructional videos, we have the funny videos, we have the reviews, we have very cinematographic action things. For certain parts or certain videos, we know that they're not going to be super successful, but we still do it. Because if we would just listen to YouTube, we will do just funny viral shit. So I think the difference is that we don't listen 100% to the viewer, because we don't want to be known just for shit you see on the range.
Honestly, like a lot of content that we do, I usually am the one to decide I will do this or not, because I'm usually the one in front of the camera and I have to kind of make the script, or at least have it in my head and plan for this.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
and
Žiga.
yes, of course, someone has to go pee-pee, and then we'll exchange and I will go pee-pee.
Can you take the microphone with you so we can hear it?
No problem.
And the big motivation behind our videos and our ideas is still being interesting to us also, and having fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if you notice, but like most of the videos that I do, I'm having fun doing the videos. Maybe it's tactical shooting, maybe it's shooting at a ballistic helmet or ballistic visor. That's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to see how it does. Well, for example, like the TT handgun, will it penetrate? Will it not? It's something that interests me, and we try to relay that to our viewer. But if Samo said, if we would just be looking at, let's maximize the views and how can we get the most of the YouTube money, then what we would have to do realistically is go to analytics, check the analytics and see what's trending right now, and just do trending stuff. For example, memes and what Biden said, and the new ATF regulation about the braces and so on. And yes, some of it we try to do it, but mostly just if it's fun to do, if we are inspired by something, we will make it, even if it makes bad views. So
So you basically describe Brandon Herrera stuff.
which one?
Well, the most popular memes and this kind of reactions to the current situation.
That I think that worked a lot for them. I hope he's not listening, but
Probably not. It's on our channel. No, we have just few followers.
Look, it's I know what they are doing, and it's a great idea. And I think the Lance, his cameraman, he's a great guy. I think he's the brains behind this. And it's a legit thing to do. Like, they are trying to get all of the current trending stuff and put it in a video, and the easiest way is to make memes and to make this kind of quick content, because once we try to do something with a game and do a shooting video kind of relating to a game that was just released, and when we film this and when we edit this, like, and we post it after a couple of weeks, we are already too late.
Oh yeah,
because one thing that we also try to do is we try to produce high quality stuff with video and sound. And when you try to do this, we're kind of like perfectionists. We are, some of the exports that we do of the videos are like export 12. Like, oh yeah, you should correct this, and the color of his eyes is too bright, and something, and like, now we are actually trying to move away from that. We're trying to just simplify things, because we are seeing that YouTube or the viewers just do not care for this kind of high quality. And even in some of our latest videos, what we did, Jan was just editing and put some CGI stuff in the video, you know, just like, I don't know, like me shooting some birds, the lens of the camera cracking, and just kind of small things. But then we are monitoring our comments to see how many people will actually notice it. It's like almost zero. Like from 50,000 views, one comment, like, oh, did your lens on the camera break? Like, people just don't realize. And you can just put I don't know, untrue information in the video. You can just make mistake, just tell stuff that is not true. Like, I don't know, people just have so low attention spans that it just like, so I don't know, it doesn't matter really.
It's not worth the attention.
We are the ones that are complicating it and trying to make it perfect. So
but that's good.
But what I found about your content is that you guys are doing universal stuff.
We're more like focused on Disney.
Disney cartoons. Cartoons. Yes, what I found personally is that you guys are, you know, one would say we don't know what to expect from you next. So you can do funny stuff, you can do serious stuff, you can do gun reviews, you can do some kind of tactical shooting stuff, blah blah blah. But it's so universal, because as we take a look at the influencers in these days, they usually specialize on stuff, and they are well known for a very specific actions they do. But from you guys, it's different. So it's very creative, and you guys are kind of moving somehow. But something which Žiga said, I believe that you guys are trying to keep your face, to keep your to stay original, and stay yourself, which is I believe more important, and people will respect it.
This was very cute.
That's your identity.
No, but this is actually what we kind of want. We definitely listen to the customer, right? In our case, that's the viewer, but to a certain degree. Because I think what happens with social media, and I think like that's the problem with the girl influencers, or not the scratch girl, it's just like influencers. They're always checking like their likes and, you know, who is their demographic, and they want to adjust to their demographic. They want to adjust to their customer again, their viewer. But I think at the end you're just, you know, lowering what you kind of are, and then basically you're doing this for, I don't know, like 5 years, and you kind of hate yourself because you're just known, you know, for you're the guy that, I don't know, farts like a frog, and then all the videos you do You fart like a frog.
You know him too?
Yeah. He's the frog farter.
Frog farter.
So basically, and then you're like 37 with 3 children. And you're like, honey, I'm the frog farter. Do you want to be that guy? And
I'm fighting farting frogs.
I'm tired of fighting frogs.
And if we that was a little bit of haha moment, but at the end, I think if we definitely wouldn't do this for 11 or plus even more now years if we would just be focusing on what our viewer wants. Maybe it would be better for us number-wise, but I don't know if we will still be doing this.
Yeah, and you would be losing your identity, right?
Kinda, yeah. And now I think our identity is much more than just the YouTube part, right? Social media part. We have our online shop managed by our lovely Manca. We have a physical store. We have we're not just 3 guys anymore, 2 guys and a girl, 1 girl, 2 cups, whatever. Our kind of our crew grew. We're opening this year, I think in a couple of months, we're opening an actual physical armory. We're gonna sell guns.
Nice.
We are digging in. Oh, Siri, you shut up. We are, I think, gonna do some. I cannot speak about it, but something completely different and not, gun related. Kind of gun related, but completely off topic.
Must be gun related.
Yeah, it will be. But what I wanted to say is, YouTube is one part now.
Right.
A very important part, the most important part because of the branding and everything, but it's not just YouTube.
Yeah.
Still, when I hear Polenar Tactical and I close my eyes, I see Žiga in a Rambo outfit on a shooting range.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought you would say the Nazi outfit, the shit you see on the range.
Do you know that they were this idiot, probably with company money, bought a photo of himself on Wish.com being a Nazi. Like the Nazi uniform from the shit you see. I think it was like $20. It wasn't very cheap.
Yeah, one of our fans sent us a link that someone was selling our stuff on Wish.com, and I went on Wish.com just for that, and I typed in Polenar Tactical, and some seller in China was making kind of this big metal prints of me in Nazi uniform from shit you see on the range. And of course I bought 2, and I wanted to send one to James Reeves from TFB TV, but I guess he never received it. It was lost in mail, and I have one now in our store.
Yeah,
in the back of the store.
Some postman kept it.
Probably,
this is a treasure.
Yes.
And now you cannot get it anymore. Like, I don't know, it's not on
my God.
Wish.
It's one of a kind now.
Yeah. It's one of a kind, yes. Stupid
That's
buy.
interesting.
Where did we stop?
Yeah, so you said that you are starting the
starting stuff. So
he's starting a lot of stuff.
Yes. So what my finish here wanted to be that I don't know if we would be still starting stuff and trying to expand and doing all of the things we are doing if we would lose our face in the process of it, just because we were super listening to our viewers and like, okay, they're the funny guys, do the Rambo jumbo thingies on YouTube.
Come on, monkey! Come on, monkey! Jump!
Yeah. Essentially, that's completely true. There are 2 factors here. One, if we would be paid by YouTube, as some of our American colleagues are, that would probably mean that we would never set up a store, or maybe too late. We would never venture in other stuff that we like. For example, doing classes, doing links brutality, doing so much more with our business than just
probably
YouTube.
Also, sorry for disturbing, probably also we wouldn't focus on different social media. We early on saw that Instagram is very important, Facebook is very important, and we also built communities there. Please continue.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And second very important thing is that without YouTube, I think none of it would exist. YouTube was the thing that made us kind of, I don't want to use the word famous, but it put us on the map.
Right.
And when we got on the map, when people from the gun industry saw who we are, you know, even just from a stupid funny video. But when you are on the map, you know, you can then introduce also the serious videos, also our training and our shooting our shooting skills and the other stuff that we can offer, you know, besides just making fun.
It's very interesting that we are the European gun channel. Basically, we are representing Europeans.
Yeah,
at least number-wise, right? And it's still funny for me. It's like they're the biggest European gun channel. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's logical. So you said that you didn't want to use the word famous, but let's take a look on the numbers. You guys are famous, so you are recognized. You are well respected.
Are you recognized on streets?
No.
Oh,
that's very awesome.
Well, I have a couple of examples.
Okay.
It's very rare, but it's super amazing when it happens.
Like, generally, we're not. The gun community in Slovenia knows us, but I think people are different in Slovenia because it's either they're shy or look at those motherfuckers. I think so. But no, we are not. We know a lot of people. They know who we are. They know our voices, everything, but it's very rarely we get.
Well, now for my examples.
Yes,
I still remember the first time I was recognized. It was in Slovenia. I went on a gas station. We were just going to film. It was early on, and the guy at the gas station was looking at me and said, like, "Oh, you're the guy from Polenar Tactical." I was like, "What?" Like, I was totally shocked because we're not that big, and he properly, you know, recognized me and said, "Oh, you're the guy. I watch your videos. It's super amazing." I was like, I was just so, I don't know, amazed and mind blown by that.
Yeah.
And the second one that I still remember was amazing in Slovakia. We went to Grand. yeah, it was Czechoslovakia, somewhere around here.
Well, we don't have colonies anymore.
No. You had colonies.
Okay.
They had colonies. Now they're nothing. What? No,
it's changed.
It is joke.
It's changed, my brother. It's not slavery anymore.
Just to finish the story, we went to Grand Power. We were in some kind of like small town. It was snowing, raining, snowing. We were like, it was already dark outside. I had a hoodie, a hood on, and we're walking on the street, and someone, like a young guy, passed us, and he stopped and turned around. And we turn around and he goes like, "Is that really you? Like, you're the Polenar guys." And it was like, he was mind blown. Like, it was his birthday, like the previous day. And then he met us and he couldn't believe it. And we couldn't believe it. Like, we're a bit drunk, but we couldn't believe it. It was just like some no-name small town in Slovakia. It was like, how can you know us? And then I gave him like my only patch that I had it like on the shoulder, and he was like super happy, and we were super happy. It was like amazing experience that I still remember.
It's
awesome. Yeah.
But
I believe that being like a gun world star has its advantages, right?
No,
because as
he went from famous to star. Next sentence, like being a superstar.
Yeah, but the thing is that you guys are famous within the gun community, right? Nowhere else. So you can have like a reach.
You have a freedom you want.
Yes. So it still gives you some kind of freedom. So you can go at the gas station.
Yes.
You can go shopping. You can.
Imagine being us being porn stars, right?
Yo.
Samo would be stalked by all the ladies. It would be terrible.
All the single ladies.
Terrible.
All the single. No, it's awesome because you can be you have
it's my time for PP.
Off. You have an off and on switch, right?
Yes.
So usually it's off when we're at home and like nobody.
Yeah, you're not tuned for the performance.
Yes,
right?
nobody recognizes you, right? Or if they do, it's nothing special.
Yeah.
But then you have, I don't know if you heard, we were at like CZ Factory. They organized for us like meet and greet with the students there, and it's a special feeling. And I still remember the first time we had like interactions with gun community, with people in it, when we went for our first IWA, or as we like to call it, EVA, in I think it was 2015. And there were a lot of people there that knew us wanted to take photos with us. You know,
I was
autographs.
one of them.
Really? Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah.
I was a youngster student at the time. I was one of them. I was just randomly met you in a hallway or somewhere. And I was like, I had no English at the time. I was like, Polenar Tactical. Hey, Žiga, that's you, Žiga. Please, picture me and you picture.
I kind of remember the accent. I think I remember.
I also remember.
You guys gave me the tiny vodka and the patch.
You see?
And I was taking the picture of it after that. I was super excited. My that time girlfriend was like, you know, happy for me because I was having my blast.
Yeah. She was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro.
I was one of them. That was one of probably first time being there or second time being there. And it was super exciting to meet you guys in there because, you know,
I'm blushing, man.
and that's what I appreciate even in these days, that you guys, even though you have a awesome reach, you have reach of the millions, right? And you are still normal people. You talk to random people. You talk to, you know, everyone, and that's nice of you. I appreciate it. I wanted to thank you for that because, you know, in some cases, some of the people can get crazy a little bit, and they can think about themselves they are something different. And like, no, I'm not talking to you. Give me a second now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, but it's not even that. Not just some people change. Some people also, I think, they play a persona or some kind of like almost a character on camera, which we also found out. I will not be like mentioning anyone specific, and I'm also not thinking about anyone specific. But for some people, you would realize that they are not the same as you can see them on camera. For us, we are the same. I'm having fun on camera. And I am the same guy in person.
Yeah.
The only difference is that maybe I'm just a little bit of introvert, and also like if I'm not in the mood or if I have to work, or they call me sometimes like a range Nazi when we go to the range and it has to be safety and it has to be filming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the same person, same smiling as on the camera.
Yeah.
So if someone would see me in that kind of like zoning, they would think that I'm always angry.
It is surprising, yeah.
Yeah.
But not in a
I'm
bad
the
way.
same guy, and that's why also I cannot go around it. But that's why also on IWA we kind of start drinking early, not just because we want to have fun, but honestly, meeting so many people, it's I don't know, it's like very draining. Psychologically, it's really hard. And you have to always, you know, try to be a bit smiling. You have to talk with everyone. Because I realize, you know, like, yeah, for me, that's the 100 person that I'm meeting. And I'm really tired and I don't care about them at all. But on the other side, for him, you know, he just met us. Like, you know, he saw us.
It's a memorable experience, yeah.
So we try to at least speak with everyone, you know, and interact. And
And that's what I got. I got just 100% of the positive vibes.
Because you were the first and only guy
it
that
was 2
year
minutes.
that recognized us.
It was 2 minutes for you. I was like, because, you know, no English from my side, I was like happy to meet you, to take a picture at least. But from your side, you didn't care that you know, someone can judge you because you don't speak, or you are trying to express yourself that you like the things you do, and so. And I was, at the time, I was like nobody, this random guy enjoying the show.
Wait, are you somebody now?
Yeah.
Yes, of
That we
course.
don't- oh, okay.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least
My mom says that, or actually my grandma says,
They're
you are
special?
the most beautiful guy from the village. I would marry you in no time.
That's
like, thank you, grandma, I appreciate it.
grandma, the Slavic, especially Slavic
Yeah.
grandmas, they are the best.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
take another
very
donut.
supportive.
You are so skinny.
Yeah, you're so skinny. This is no girls love this. Okay, thank
Oh.
you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like Žiga said, it can be, but it's very. On the other hand, it's very
Rewarding.
And I know the first day at Eva, the first time we were at Eva, I called my dad and I said, like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but this is gonna be something big. But because you have to put it in perspective. That was when we were, I don't know, 24, 25, you know, couple of years in the channel, not really earning money. So our like 2-3 month budget from YouTube was basically spent to go to EVA. A lot of struggles.
To be realistic, even now we're not earning
No,
a lot of money from YouTube. Like in 1 month, we get less than we pay our cameraman.
Yes.
Now, however you want to calculate it, but it's
And he's not the very good paid cameraman.
don't tell him this.
Jan, where is laughing now, bitch?
He didn't hear it.
No, but yes.
Yeah, he's playing dumb. He's like,
No, but we didn't have the shop yet. We didn't have anything, so it was a very big deal going there. Like we told you before in private, this year we're going to EVA, and we're gonna get a little bit of a sponsorship by EVA to be there, and that's a huge recognition from the gun community. And we're very happy. And if the people that are watching right now, I think on the first day we're gonna have or host an event and be there for free beers and
Free beer.
And Žiga will be heavily seduced by alcohol, so he'll be very happy and greet you all. I'll be grumpy like I am probably every time at EVA at 7 p.m. But still, I'm gonna give you free beers, so please be there.
yeah, get wasted from the early morning.
Yeah, it's the way to go. But this is what I love about EVA. No judgment, on the part. If you want to have a beer, yeah, let's go have a beer. Because if you go to SHOT Show, and I imagine you guys were there,
Yeah, because
it's like very.
yeah, because it's covered by the legal aspects, right?
It's gay. I'm sorry. It's like not to be, but it's like, hey guys, can you go, behind that dumpster and drink a beer with your fucking, paper brown bag? It's
Like, yeah, America is different. If you think about it, like, you can join the military at 17. You can buy a gun at 18, but drink a beer, you have to be 21.
Yeah.
So when you come from your deployment, shooting Iraqis, you're a war veteran, missing a leg, and you're not 21 yet. No beer for you. Like,
You go for cocaine or what? No, it's a different country.
But I find it kind of strange.
I'm not cheating on SHOT Show because it's awesome in a completely different perspective, but I just wanted to say that's why I love EVA.
Yeah.
It has its vibes.
Like we were checking out last EVA. Every booth is hiding alcohol. 70% have hard liquor, but at least a couple of cases of beer.
They know the target audience.
Yeah, alcoholics.
It's Germany, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they're the second in the beer consumption in the world after Czech Republic.
But majority of the companies are Slavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a culture thing.
It is.
So they are bringing it. Yeah.
We hit 1 hour.
We definitely did.
Yeah, but we have no limitations.
1 hour 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So we're gonna take a break.
No. Do you have any more questions?
We always do.
Yeah, let's do a couple of more questions.
I think we can end this with the last question.
Okay.
The last question is about maybe the first firearm. I don't know. Just,
Okay.
Thank you for the advice.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So
do you have a girlfriend?
Let me think for a minute. What's the next question?
I'm single, by the way.
Yeah. Guys.
Samo is single?
Mm-hmm. Freshly.
Oh. So Žiga already told us what was his first firearm. It was a AK, the Yugoslavic AK,
That's
right?
a lie.
That
was his dad.
No, that was exactly. That was like I was a kid and like I was able to shoot with one. It was full auto,
that was
and I don't think it was
father's.
registered.
It was your father.
Oh.
At that time, I didn't care. I was a kid.
I found this firearm with the vote on it.
Yeah.
And
Go
it
to
looks
backyard.
And
Please
don't aim
don't
on
aim it.
neighbors.
Yeah. So there was a skull next to it. Yeah. But, so, what was your first gun, Samo?
I'm glad you asked.
I guess it was pink.
It was definitely not pink.
Pink and gold.
No, I like pink underwear.
Okay.
It was Coyote Brown. It was an RX 01 compact.
What a patriotic choice.
It was a heavily discounted choice.
What a Slavic choice.
Yeah, it was a Slavic choice, exactly.
Yeah.
Giga, how about you?
Very
so-
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Of
I didn't
course
know
you-
what was your first
Really?
gun. Really, I didn't know. My first gun was a rifle. It was the Yugoslavian SKS, so the Zastava M95/66,
Pimpin'.
if I'm correct. And I
Červena
actually
zastava.
yes, and I actually imported it from
Yugoslavian.
Croatia.
Yugoslavian zastava.
Back then when Croatia was not in the European Union, so that was a bit tricky. Had some problems with it, but we had a friend in Croatia that sold it for a really good price to me, because like, oh yeah, this is your first gun, you want to have this, like pff, come there. And we drove to Croatia, got drunk as fuck, and then bought the gun for very cheap, and then imported it to Slovenia. And I think I should shoot that gun more.
You still have it?
Yeah, well, of course, I have all the guns that I bought.
You never sold one?
No, are you
Really?
crazy?
Technically, now he's selling me a gun.
So I'm guessing.
No, I gave you the gun.
No.
for your
Technically, this is the first time I'm gonna see the process of when you are not buying something new, but some. Is this also for you? The first time
Yeah,
you're selling a gun?
yeah. I gave him an AK for his birthday.
Yes, I'm very.
Aw.
No, but it's a special
That's
story
sweet.
because it's. I have a lot of AKs. Well, not a lot of AKs. I have a couple of AKs, but he's giving me a He gave me for my birthday a Zastava M70 AB2. So that's with the.
with the underfolding stock. It's like the real AK that every Slavic guy has to have.
Yeah.
Like
At least in the Balkans,
as
you
a-
have the VZs, right? The VZ58.
Yeah.
So this is
Absolutely.
something that everybody should
I-
have, and I didn't have it until now. And he gifted me that for his my birthday, and I was almost crying as a child.
That's sweet.
That's true
It's
love,
very
man.
nice.
In
Yeah.
this respects, I guess we are more Slavic than you are, because I was selling my very first gun to be able to buy another one. So I want to upgrade my VZ58, or
Yeah.
not upgrade. I want to upgrade to an AR-15.
And you still regret it,
Somehow
you see.
I still do, but I was poor kid at the time, so I was like, I desperately wanted the AR-15, so I went for the DPMS.
You go for a
Oracle,
credit.
Oracle. I was like, yeah, but I need like 25,000 crowns for that. I was like, okay, I can sell. So I fine-tuned the VZ58 at that time. So I had all the furniture, all the fancy stock, and the grip, and somehow red dot and rails on the forend. Compensator, that's a must-have, right? I was like, yeah, I can sell it for more than I purchased it originally. But I wanted the AR-15 so desperately, so I sold it, and I used the money earned from it as a basement for the purchase of
So
the
essentially,
AR-15.
you sold a VZ and bought an AR.
yeah.
That's a stupid decision.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Really, like
Yeah.
that's why you don't sell the kids. Like I know
I was like, what, 23 at the time? I
it
was
doesn't
dumb
matter
fuck.
if you're
I
in
was
financial-
young and stupid.
Yeah.
if you have financial problems, kids, do not sell your guns. Go to your papa or your mama, or go to the bank. Borrow money.
with your gun. Go to the bank with your gun.
How much can I get for this?
Do not sell your guns. But
How much?
Sell it to your father.
but is this the first and last thing you sold?
Not really.
Oh
No. I always do upgrades. I'm not a collector myself.
Oh, okay. You don't, so
Yeah.
you are not in
Well, I'm
love.
also not a collector, but
But he collects. Motherfucker,
I
he
only
collects.
what I use.
I'm a gun owner. I own
This is
guns.
a
I
gun
do not
collector.
sell.
You
This
must have
guy.
been disappointed with some of your guns. Why do you keep them?
Because reasons.
The last gun that I wanted to sell was the 6-hour P226.
No, that's not true. The last gun you wanted to sell was the Desert Eagle, probably.
No, actually, the last gun I wanted to sell
Oh.
was the 6-hour P226.
I didn't know that. I apologize, viewers, for
Um,
interrupting.
That was my first handgun.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it new. It's actually made in Germany, not like the US crap. I'm sorry, but like the newer ones, they're not as good. I really love that gun. I shot it great, and then I got the AREC 01, and it's just like all for me. It's improvement on all of the things, and so I never shot with the P226 anymore. And kind of
Time to sell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
That would
the
be
problem
stupid.
that what I did is I took it on the range and shoot with it, and I got like amazing grouping at 25 meters. And look at it, and it's like, oh, I cannot sell this.
But dude, that's
Put
your
it back
first.
in the box, and then like
That's your
it
first
just-
piece, though.
exactly. Yeah, like,
You shouldn't.
Look, if it shot all over the target, you know, even if it was me, if I shot all over the target, I was disappointed. I was like, no, I'll just sell this shit.
I would sell the second
It
pistol.
shot so good. Oh.
Yeah.
But dude,
I
that's your
cannot sell it.
that's romance.
After that, I always imagined that your kid's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's gun collection. How much we can get for that?"
exactly. Yeah. It is like
unfortunately,
that.
It'll
Yeah.
probably be like that. Yeah.
But shit, they will at least earn some money. It meant
Oh,
something for
probably
you,
a lot.
and they will earn some money. You know, that's an investment.
Yeah, and they will spend it for the IKEA furniture, right?
Yeah, or some VR shit in the future, or
Better
Oh no,
than-
for
or an
vacation.
electric car, or
We need to
you know.
fly to Mauritius.
Yes, better than that than on in heroin. So
One
Enjoy.
quick question: how much did you pay for your VZ58?
that's a good question.
At the time I purchased it, it was
5,500 crowns.
It was nothing.
Oh,
it was
that's a-
5,500 crowns.
That's the same price that we had.
It was like
A little bit.
I heard that the military was selling them in bundles, and it sold like for 25-30 euros, but those rifles then had to be converted to civilian. or
yes,
something like
yes.
that.
that's correct. So there's multiple companies taking care of that.
Yeah.
I
So-
would take care of that. Like I would
Yeah.
buy everything.
Yeah. So nowadays it
So in euros, it's 230 euros.
Yeah, it was.
approximately.
It was
For us, it
280.
it's very pricey in these days.
To 67, but okay.
Yeah. So there's multiple companies right now. I don't know how many because there is so many of them. But they are converting them to be
Are they still available?
yes.
Yeah,
In
but-
Slovenia,
The
a
price is
couple of years
harder to get.
in Slovenia, a couple of years back, they dried out, and you could only get the ones that were
Those
kind of
are-
assembled from parts,
Mhm.
and those had problems with reliability, and they were already 550 euros. So price went up, and those were
Yes,
shittier.
yes.
Now it costs approximately almost 4 times
More.
what we paid back
Yes.
then.
What, €1,000?
Yes. Yes.
Shit.
Keep your VZs.
Yes. So the CZ made the 858.
Yeah.
So these are easily converted, but
Mhm.
you know, semi-auto only. So these are widespread, but there's another companies doing the transitions into the semi-auto guns. But there's still a company which is making.
There are
Uh,
actually multiple companies making brand news.
Yes, but there's a Czech Small Arms.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Czech small
And
arms.
that's the company which.
They are very expensive.
Yeah, they purchased the machinery from the CZ.
Oh, so they're
And-
making new guns.
Yes, so
Altogether.
they machine the new bodies. They are pressing the new brand new barrels into the system. They also have their own conversions and their own variants, but these are brand new VZ58s, like brand new. It's not conversion, it's not the modification or transition from the full auto to semi-auto, but these are brand new. It's
For those
they are
watching
pricey.
and they don't know the VZ58 family of guns, they are really good rifles. They kind of look like an AK, but they do not work the same way as an AK. It's a
not even
short,
close.
It's basically
short
striker fire.
short stroke piston system,
Yes.
and it has a tilting block for locking the bolt,
Different
and kind of
magazines.
almost kind of like striker fire. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But yeah, the magazines are different. They're aluminum, very light, reliable, but they have the bolt hold open on the last round. And if you make a small modification with our Polenar Tactical bolt hold open
Oh, I
latch,
see where you were
Thank you
heading.
for the advertisement.
but essentially what I want to say, they are still really good rifles. In a lot of aspects, much better than AKs because of the selector safety, because of the bolt catch, because they are more accurate.
Yeah.
I spoke with a lot of people that have experience with AKs and VZs, and that's also my personal experience. I tried a lot of different AKs. VZs, for some reason, I don't know if it's the locking or the barrels or something, or the operating system, they're inherently more accurate.
Yeah.
And just because it's a short stroke piston system, It's also a very good host for suppressor. I don't know, all around, it's a very nice working gun. I love them.
Yeah, same here.
Well, they were designs like 10 years after AK, so it must be better.
It doesn't matter. But that was a very, very nice ending to a Czech podcast, I would say.
Okay, guys.
So we just got cancelled by Polenar Tactical.
No worries. We will continue this, Žiga.
Yes.
Where we will continue this?
I wanted to say, guys, this is not the end of the podcast. This is just the end of the first part. So if you want to continue listening to us crazy guys, go to our channel and see the second part.
Bye.
Peace.
See you.